Hey everyone, welcome back to another show and tell video. This is my latest commission and it's something I'm very proud of. Probably one of my more ambitious projects that I've done, period. It is a TV and media center for my sister, Nikki, who commissioned it from me. Obviously it is in a farmhouse style. This has been a really interesting project. Partially because it's bigger than most anything I've ever built before as far as furniture goes. But also just because it was actually not terribly complicated as a project goes. The entire construction of it, with the exception of the top and the doors, is just half-inch plywood, just your average crappy Home Depot or Lowe's plywood. You know, nothing too fancy. That I cut. Pretty much everything is either dadoed or otherwise joined together with some sort of groove, with the exception of these two central shelves, which are adjustable. And then the top is a piece of an old piano that a friend gave me to take apart and do with what I wish. So I believe it is poplar on the top. It's not actually solid, it's got several strips that run through, and this is a plywood top, but it's close enough to solid, and it looks great. And then this just has sort of a red wine color stain on it, which I think is lovely. A couple things I had to do on the top to make it a little more serviceable. There are a number of various bolt holes through here, which you might be able to see, that I've had to putty up, as well as this major hole here, which I think was actually for the action for one of the pedals of the piano. So I actually took one of the dowels off of the piano and used it to plug that, so that works. The barn door hardware works beautifully. This is 40 bucks on Amazon. I would say easily the most difficult part of this was getting the crossbuck, or the X pattern on the doors, exactly right. You could say I did a lot of math to do it, but mostly I just kind of started cutting stuff until it worked. But all in all, not the worst job I've ever done. I also don't usually paint my projects, so this was an interesting change for me. Definitely helps because it hides a lot of crimes with the wood you choose, especially if you're doing something with plywood. Just makes it easier. You don't have to worry as much about edge banding or anything like that to cover up your mistakes. The one thing I was reasonably careful about was to make sure whenever I was choosing the parts of the plywood that were going to face forward or anywhere, was to make sure that they weren't the sides with major voids in between the plies. Because that'll happen a lot with cheap plywood. You'll end up with, like, there's a small one right here, these gaps in between plies where wood chips out. It's pretty much unavoidable unless you get very nice, like birch plywood, which I was not going to do for this, because my sister did not want to spend a lot of money. So in materials, factoring in that this top part was free, and I was able to reuse a little bit of scrap wood for the doors. This cost me around 150 bucks, and that's including paint. I already had the stain for the top, but it did not take a lot. Now, pieces of comparable quality and comparable design that I've seen online are somewhere in the neighborhood of $600, $700 for the most part. And if I were charging, you know, a fair wage for my labor, I'd probably be charging somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 to $600 for this. But given that this is a hobby for me and that other people paying for materials kind of allows me to experiment and do stuff without worrying about wasting stuff, it's a good way to kind of make the hobby work. But you could do, I would say, pretty much all of this with two tools, table saw and a drill. And the drill, frankly, is mostly optional. The table saw I would not have been able to do this without. I'll show you a clip right now of my new table saw that I just bought, partially because of this project and partially just because I was sick of my old one. It's a lovely Delta hybrid saw, great, by all accounts, entry-level, kind of mid-sized table saw. Given that I know I'm going to be moving soon, I didn't want to get anything too crazy, you know, a big cast iron frame or anything. The price was right on this, and it's been great so far, and I think once I do a couple more projects with it, I'll do a review video just to see my overall reaction so far. But with this, it handled everything like a champ. Cutting sheets of plywood down was very easy on it, and it gave me everything nice and precise, which obviously is great. So part of the reason that my sister wanted a new one anyway is because her apartment recently had a minor flood. She had a, you know, fairly chintzy particle board version of this that just fell apart on her and, you know, was ugly and terrible. And anyway, particle board is the devil and we should remove it. from our lives at every occasion. So, happy belated birthday, Nikki. I hope this works well for you. I'm pretty sure it will, if we can fit it into your car when you come to get it, which will be the big question mark. Who knows? By the way, the overall dimensions are about 48 inches wide, 25 inches tall, kind of the top, 16 and change inches deep. The one last cool little note is that the frames of the doors are actually made from some of the old trim on our house that we recently replaced. I took some of the good pieces and decided to reuse them for this so that my sister could have a little piece of home wherever she decides to bring this. So, I know it's been a while since I've shown a actual process video of me making something, just because with this and the bar cart that I did last week, I've just been very busy trying to get these done, and video making just slows me down a bit. And I had kind of time crunches for both of these. So once I'm on a little bit more of a relaxed schedule again, I will resume doing process videos. Yeah, I think that's everything. So if you've liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'd be happy to hear any feedback or advice you might have. And I think that's about it. So catch me in the next one, and we'll make some more stuff. Have a good one.